don't know which one I like better.
Hush, because they can hear you now.
That's okay. Technical difficulties. Okay. Like that.
All righty. All right, there we go. All righty. All right, there we go. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Queen Chat. I am your host, Felicia Joseph. I don't know why we're having that delay. Hang on a second. First episode. Let's bring that down. Queen Chat. I am your host. Mute this. Felicia Joseph. Mute that. Okay. Technical difficulties, everybody. Technical difficulties, everyone. We are working through getting everything presentable. So now, Bree, talk. Let me see if I can hear you.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I hear you. Perfect. All right. So what it is I'm going to have to look at it and then keep checking for comments on the Facebook side. All right. So again, welcome to the first installment of Queen Chat. I am your host, Felicia, aka Lady Faye, and I have with me one of my two co-hosts. Today's co-host is Brianna, aka Breezy. How you doing, Breezy?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing all right today. Things are going pretty good so far. Could be worse, always could be worse, but thank God they aren't. Let's say it that way.
That is true.
So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So I am a 30-year-old mom, 3 girls. I'm very out there, bubbly,
What do you
outgoing.
mean by out there, darling?
Well, depending on the person you talk to.
Worse, always could be worse, but sorry, I have to. Okay, I got you. All right, so yeah,
technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Yes, we are having technical difficulties today, people.
So, I'm just really out there with how people perceive me. Somebody could tell me that I'm like really outgoing, and the next person could tell you I'm shy. The next person could tell you that I got an attitude, and the next person could tell you that I'm sweet as can be. But I believe that I'm able to adapt to different situations and different people. So I'm just out there as far as it goes. I'm loud too.
So, all right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our first episode. If you don't mind, please like and share the broadcast. And if you can't stay, it's okay. It will always be here for replays on Facebook, as well as being here for watches on YouTube. So it will be, the link after the show will be put over to YouTube, so you will be able to watch it at your leisure. Queen Chat is just a conversation about many different topics. We will cover many spectrum of topics. Hello, Lady Brown. Hello, Benita. That's my other co-host. She'll be with us next week. How are you? Hello, Letitia. Mwah. How are you, sweetheart? I'll be reaching out to you later this week, probably Tuesday. So me and you'll chat soon too. Thanks for tuning in. So when I say that we cover a plethora of topics, basically there is no topic that is off limits for us. We talk about all types of things, all types of situations that may come up in a woman's life. We cover single women, we cover married women, divorced women, widowed women. We talk from straight women, gay women, bisexual women. There is nothing that is off limits. There's no topic that's off limits. And the most important thing, there's no queen's opinion that we are not open to listen to, whether we agree, whether we don't. Every queen's opinion can be and will be heard, and we will discuss it. Now, there will be multiple times where we all agree, you know, happy, happy, joy, joy, sunshine, rainbows, and Skittles. But there are going to be those times when we don't agree, because, I mean, that's life. Everybody doesn't think the same way, feel the same way, experience things the same way. And that's just how it is. And we here at Queen Chat are going to celebrate those differences as well as celebrating those similarities. So this is just a place for everybody to be free. No, not disrespect. So there is nothing that you can't say, nothing that you can't express, except being disrespectful to someone else's opinion. I can respectfully disagree with you and respect your opinion, even if I don't agree. So those are the types of things that we're going to talk about. Those are the types of things we're going to jump into. And we're coming from different genres, different women. Like Bree said, Bree is a 30-year-old mom of three. I'm a 45-year-old single woman. Benita is a 51B or 52. I think you're 51-year-old married pastor's wife. So when I say there are all different walks of life that we're coming from, and we are all just the host. So we are the mouthpieces that are gonna, oh Jesus, I left a couple of years out. Excuse me. Benita is a 54-year-old married pastor's wife, a mama and a grandmama. Okay. So when I say we have, everything covered, we have 30s, 40s, 50s, and, all of us have different experiences. There might be similarities in some of the things that we experience, but like I said, everybody experiences things differently. So today, the topic of choice for today that we decided to jump in, and yes, you're right, Letitia, this should be and will be a safe place for everyone to express how they feel, give their comments, and we're open to, you can inbox me at any time if you think of a topic or you think of something that you want us to tackle on the show. We're open for it. But tonight, for our first show, we decided to go with how many is too many. And I realized when I posted the flyer says how many is too many. But when I posted it online initially, I posted and said, how much is too much? So I basically put two different ways, but we're going to cover them both. How much is too much? How many is too many? And we're talking about anything, whatever situation in your life. If you have dealt with a situation, you went through it, you thought you were over it, you thought the worst was over, and then lo and behold, the same situation comes up again. How many times is too many times to go through the same thing? Bree, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that, but the biggest thing that has stuck with me is a quote from a song. I'm sure most people know it. It's by J. Cole. And he, it brings to mind relationships. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me two times, shame on me. Fool me three times, and it's F the peace sign. And that, so that's what it brings to mind for me, because it's like, if I gave you my heart the first time, that means that I messed up or you messed up. If I do it again, then somebody's not doing what they're supposed to. Whether it's I'm not doing something or I'm not realizing something, something is not working. And then if
Right.
it happens a third time, well, then I'm just a glutton for punishment.
Letitia said, yes, honey, auntie, yes, exactly. And see, and that's one of the things I want us down the line, we're going to have to tackle accountability, because what we as queens need to realize, we as grown women need to realize and be better at is accountability. It's easy to point the finger and say, well, it happened this many times because he or she or they or them. It's easy to do that, but you have to remember and think you are in there too. You have to be accountable at some point for your part of the situation too. Because, like you said, reminds me of I might be dating myself, but the Wayans brothers, when they used to do their opening, when the little old lady would walk outside and get hit by the bus, but she would do it every episode. She get hit, she get hit, she get hit. If you know the bus is coming down the street at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Sunday, and Monday through Sunday at 2:55, you rushing finding your keys, your purse, your coffee, your soda, everything, because you just got to get outside, and you get hit by the same doggone bus every day. You have to acknowledge the accountability in that. The situation keeps happening to you because you keep putting yourself in the right place at the right time for the same old, same old.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the truth of it. Yes, if your significant other hurt you once, if people in your church family hurt you once, if your blood family hurt you once, if your friend lied to you once, if you loaned so and so money once and they still ain't gave it back and they done asked you for money 5 more times, here we go. There has to be a point of accountability when you realize it's time for you to say enough is enough. So even with that, with the spirit of forgiveness, that's why I'm asking how many is too many, because I'm going to forgive you once, and depending on how much I love you, I might forgive you twice. But if you try to hit me with that bus on time 3, honey, you better bring you and the whole U.S. military, because mama's coming with everything in her arsenal to protect herself from allowing it to happen the 3rd time. Mm-hmm. It's time to stand up and say enough. So that's easy. And a lot of times we do it with relationships, and we'll always say relationships. Let's talk about toxic friendships. Not a relationship.
Well, that's so the same thing.
Emotionally involved, romantically involved. Toxic friendships. How many times do you get burned, or how many times do you have to see the same signs before you realize, okay, I know what's about to happen? If you could set your watch by this person's mood swings, if you know what time of the month it is, what day it is, what time of the year it is, because how they're acting, I mean, it's repetitive. When do you jump off of the roller coaster?
Yeah, I understand that, because there comes to a point where you realize, I've been doing this so many times, I've been doing this so long, is it worth your inner peace? Whether it's a relationship or a friendship. If it's a friendship, especially, because if you're not feeding me, financing me, the other wording me, then if you're not doing one of those 3 F's,
even if you're doing the other F in me,
Yes.
If you are
Or
doing that,
even financing.
and no, but I'm talking about the X-rated. If you're doing that and you still, if you keeping my body satisfied but keeping my mental off the chain, that's not balanced. We not balanced. Something's wrong. If you care more about inside of me than you do inside of me, we got a problem.
Mm-hmm. And there's
And
a
that's just the
disconnect
truth
somewhere.
of it. Letitia said her best friend didn't call on her birthday, but she called her best friend and sent a gift on her birthday. She's done. I get you.
Oh yeah, I would have been done because especially if that's your best friend, because that's not like somebody that you can just say like a Facebook friend that the only reason they say happy birthday is because they got the notification that it's your birthday. This is supposed to be the person that knows when you were born, knows if you like to celebrate or don't like to celebrate, if you want something simple or want something crazy extravagant, it's your best friend. And if they can't even put the thought to send you a gift or even freaking send you a text message just says happy birthday,
acknowledge. If you can't acknowledge,
then they need to take a hike. We
and then
got
you
a
got, since
nice little
Facebook
swamp
came
back
out,
here.
nobody has any excuse. You have no excuse to forget my birthday if we are friends on Facebook. Facebook is going to remind you 97 times, tell you to donate to whatever I chose to give donations to, ask you to send me Starbucks gift cards. There's no excuse.
I was going to say, and that's a new thing on Facebook too. If you are low on money, that's great. There's a $2 gift card you can give me to Walmart on there, a $5 gift card to Starbucks. The thing is, if people want to, they will.
Ah, yes, cousin. Hello, cousin. Thank you for coming in. Oh, I know I'm on your blackball list. I am so sorry. I'm gonna reach out to you too. I'll explain. I'm gonna reach out to you too. But my cousin says relationships exposes your true character. And a lot of times when people say relationships, we always jump to romance and the bedroom relations. No, relationships are any type of ships. Friendships are relationships. Mentorships are relationships. And that's one of the things I wanted to cover with Queen Chat too, because there are so many of us older queens that don't realize how some of the younger generation are looking up to us as mentors. They are looking at us, following our examples, not just what we say, but what we do. They look at how we carry ourselves. They look at how we deal with toxic relationships. They deal with how we look at how we deal with stress and all these things and pattern their actions after that. So sometimes one of the worst hurts is when a mentee feels betrayed by the mentor. That's one of those too, where it's just, it's terrible. We always like to say that it's the person, the intimate party that's actually in a lover type relationship with you that is the cause of your hurt. No, you know how they say don't bring baggage into this relationship? Sometimes queens are going into relationships with hurt from other women, hurt from people who have broken them, hurt from family trauma. So I mean, it's just it's how much is too much? How much before you break? You know how, my mama used to always say when my mama didn't spank me much. Now she, like, if I tap danced on that last nerve long enough, she would tear me up. But my daddy was the disciplinarian. He was the one that laid down the law. But mama would get me once in a while, but she would tell me, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Honey, I knew I was getting it. I was like, oh, the camel's back is broken. I'm getting a beating. So how many times can you do the same thing? And then in that accountability piece, we have to look at it. We're in ships with people, friendships, mentorships, family ships, everything. How many times are we looking at ourselves to be accountable for, have we broken something? Have our actions done something that our friend has taken wrong? Now, anybody who knows me, yes, honey, use it. Anybody who knows me knows it takes a lot to be my everyday, all day friend, because the minister in me, shut up. The minister in me, the artist in me, the Caribbean girl in me, there's so many, the Aries in me, I need my alone time. So there are times where I'm good at stating that and just coming out and saying it politely, sweetly, nicely. Then there are other times where I'm just like, yo, I don't like, bye. What do you want? Can I call you back? Or why you like, and I don't mean it as nasty as it comes out, but I have to be accountable and think, how does my friend react to this or feel about this? Because you have to realize your feelings aren't the only ones that matter when you're in any type of ship. And it's how many friends do you have to hurt? How many friendships do you have to lose before you recognize that the problem may be you? Relate. We have to be relatable and able to identify that we all mess up. Exactly, cuz. Exactly. Exactly. And then there are other things. When you say how much is too much. And I'm gonna ask the question and I'm gonna let you take the answer. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. In friendships, so we're gonna come off of relationships now. Sisterhood, because Queen Chat is all about empowering us. Sisterhood. In friendships, how much of your opinion about my business is too much for you to give me?
With us, it's different.
Not
Because
us. We're not talking about us.
if we're talking
sisters.
about, like, let's say with my ex-friend, I'm going to use that person as an example. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say their name. I don't want the drama attached. I'm just using an example. Now, when it comes to that person, I'm going to give my opinion 100% because that's just who I am. At the same time, I know that if they're not going to follow it or they're not going to listen to it, then they're not gonna. And I can talk till I'm blue in the face and give them all of my opinions on what they're doing or advice or whatever, and that's going to be on them in the long run.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if they're not going to listen or they're not going to take what my thoughts are on something, there's nothing I can do.
Right.
Right.
So, but see what and that's different. That's different. And I know the situation you're talking about. That's different. That's not what I mean. When you're literally, hey Felicia, how you doing, honey? Hey Celia, how you doing? What you cooking today, Celia? I know you in the kitchen doing something. But what I'm asking is this. When you are actually speaking up to tell someone something that you may notice that is for their benefit, that's different. What I'm asking is, let's say you and I disagree, and I'm saying you and I, but it doesn't have to be you and I. Friends, if two friends disagree, if you know that your friend is headstrong and you're headstrong, and there's a topic that you just don't agree on, how many arguments must be had about the same topic? When is it time to just say, we agree to disagree, we're not even going to touch that no more?
That should be on the second one, because on the first one, you're going to argue and you're just going to be like, okay, so this is a touchy subject. And then there's going to come a chance where it's going to get brought up, whether it be on accident or on purpose. And when that happens, you have to realize, well, hey, last time this was a bit touchy and me and her didn't talk for a little bit after this because of it. And that should be your warning sign of, hey, we're getting a little bit too much with each other. And I guess the best way to say it is in wanting to have that peace with your friend and not argue like that all the time, but at the same time respect that, hey, they might be a Republican and I'm a Democrat, like that. You know what I mean? You have to understand, well, we're going to agree to disagree. This is not okay for us to talk about. This is not something that we need to bring up. And if we hear it, don't talk about it around each other. That's something that we'll have to discuss with another friend that may be like-minded, or another person that might be like-minded, but not with each other. So
It's
two
all
times.
about the relationship, and I agree. So your answer to that is two. So you give it two times. After the second time, you shouldn't bring it up or broach the subject anymore. Okay.
Unless
So
you have a mental illness where you're forgetful. Because you know I'm forgetful, so I
I
might
was
bring
about to
stuff
say,
up.
why are you bringing up personal stuff? We are live. We'll chat about your mental
But I'm
illness
so
later.
forgetful though sometimes.
Good grief. So that's good, and that's good, and if that works for you, that's cool, because that's basically something that'll keep your peace and keep you from being overstressed about a situation that's not yours, let's say that. So then I did see that, since you brought up the whole political thing during this last election, do you know how many people I saw, if you're voting for this person, me and you are no longer friends. If you're not voting for this person, I can't be friends with you. Well, I don't understand. Were you ever really my friend? If my opinion of someone else affects our relationship, how much of friends were we to begin with in the first place?
And that's the part that gets me, because not even just like who you voted for, but let's say things you voted for. There's the abortion topic, whether abortion's right and not right. And I've seen people talk about, well, if you think that people that are worded should keep the baby, and that starts a whole argument of, well, we're not going to talk anymore. You're not my friend. And I'm just like, let people do what they're going to do. Whether you believe it or not, it goes back down to your opinions. You got to let people do what they're going to do and just don't talk to each other.
See, this goes back, and like I said, this is not a religious show. So a lot of my talk shows are religious. Nobody has a question of where I stand, Jesus Christ, all day, every day. That there is no question of that. But on this show, like I said, we talk to everyone about everyone's opinions, everyone's beliefs, because that's what this is about. But our co-host Benita, who's not on, Lady B, posted the other day a post of Jesus pulling a Christian back from an unsaved person, saying, I called you to win souls, not to win arguments. If it comes down to arguing about it, then it's clear you're not open or ready to hear anything I have to say. And anything I say at this point, whether you would have listened or not, now that you're upset about it, you're not going to, it's in one ear out the other, you're not going to listen. So how many times do we have to bump heads before we realize how to deal with one another?
Which that comes with experience, though.
It does.
Because in a friendship, a relationship, whatever, we could argue over small things for a week. But by 1 month, we'll know better. Oh, he left the toilet seat up. Let me not get mad at that. Oh, they took my book without asking. Let me not get mad at that. Because it's so small and so menial, but it takes time. That's not something that's always going to be right then and there. But that is something that should be discussed. Hey, if we're going to be together or we're going to be friends, just know that this is what irks me. There's some people that are open like that, and there's some people that aren't. They aren't going to tell you anything until you find out.
Right. Now, I wrote down a couple of other topics. So let's see. And all of you watching, remember, we want you guys to interact with us. Thank you so much for your comments. We want you to interact. So this question is, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. How many lies does someone have to tell you before it's too many and they're branded a liar in your book?
For me personally, it probably has to be about 3 or 4 times.
Okay, just so because you'll give them three passes.
It depends on the situation. It depends what they're lying about. If I'm being completely honest, if they lie about a little white lie about, oh yeah, I've got all this money, but really they don't have money. Oh, why didn't you just tell me? I could have paid for your breakfast. It's not a big deal. But then you got somebody that'll lie about something more, bigger about, oh, well, I'm married and they didn't tell you I was married.
You already, I didn't had enough drama with that this week.
But no, but that's what my thing is. Like, I talked to this
Exactly.
person, and I know that this might not be directly related to this topic, but it might be. But I
Okay.
talked to this person on the Facebook dating app, and we had been talking since the beginning of the pandemic.
You think
And
Facebook dating will give us a sponsorship if we do a commercial for the Facebook dating app?
they might.
Never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But we got to have a success story for that. But so yeah, so we had been talking since the beginning of the pandemic, and we had been talking so much without ever getting to the point of let's meet up, let's hook up, or whatever, that it just felt like a friendship, long distance friendship,
Okay,
And
1 second. Letitia, thank you so much. I see your comment. Letitia said 1. Bonita says it depends on the lie. And Letitia, you have a great day too. Thank you so much for tuning in, sis. I appreciate it. And remember, you can finish watching at any time. If you have not joined the Queen Chat group page on Facebook, please do so. Just type in Queen Chat, the group, and join the group because the video will be on replay there as well. You have a great day too, and we'll talk soon. Definitely by Tuesday. I'm sorry. I just wanted to let her know. I saw she was leaving. So go ahead. So you said you have been talking for a while and realized that it was
like friend zone type thing. We've been talking so long, never met up, nothing. And then I realized why at the start of this year was because they finally admitted to being married. But they were on a dating app and told me they were single, but they were in an open relationship, an open marriage is what it ended up being. But something like that, that's a big lie. Even if you didn't,
and that's the one
just
with
didn't
one.
tell me.
Just one. You don't get 3 times then. If you, it depends on the enormity of the lie and the circumstances surrounding it. Because there are lies of malice, then there are lies of omission, where I can tell you everything I've told you is the truth. I've never lied to you. I just
left out
some information that you
needed.
Dangerously needed to know. So yeah, so I get that. But I agree with Nita B and with Letitia. Depending on the lie, one is enough. Because if I and it depends on our relationship with one another. Because when I moved to the island, me being a New Yorker coming from the city, and also me being a Caribbean girl, an island girl, I had to get used to some of the things here. Here, it is a very small island. Everybody knows everybody from the time they were in diapers. If they don't think they know you, they know your people, who your people is. None of your business. And it's everybody feels that they should, if they don't know something about you, and it's sad, if they don't know you, they're going to make up what they think, and that's going to be your story. And I had to get used to that whole, who are you? Who your people is? How'd you get here? Why'd you move here? And I know a lot of people used to think I was very nasty because I was, excuse me, I don't know you. You don't know me. You came in here to pay your cable bill. Pay your bill, get out my line, let me help the next customer. Don't be interviewing me and asking me all these questions because it ain't none of your business. See, that's just the type of person that I am. It's none of your business. And that's another thing. That brings us to a secondary question. Bonita said, I've been out of the game for almost 30 years. I thank God because it's hard out there in the dating scene. Girl, you don't even know. What about the guy that like to wear woman's lingerie? Okay, that's gonna be, we'll do another topic. What in April, me, Breezy, and I will do a topic on dating in 2022. That's what we're gonna do. And we'll talk about all these
and all the shenanigans that some of these people be doing out there.
Y'all, I mean, some of the stuff that in the 80s and 90s that used to come on sitcoms or movies, and we'd be like, only in the movies. No, that's not only in the movies no more. This stuff, it's just like, you'll sit there and be like, is this really happening to me in real life? And it's the kind of stuff that's going on. But here's another question. How many times do you have to tell someone something and hear it back before you realize not to confide in that person again? One, but go ahead, you Bree. I'm telling you my answer this time. One.
Well, this is kind of more pointed at me, I feel, this
Me?
question specifically. No, because, well, obviously, you know the situation, but for me, it depends because I have a naivete to me where I like to believe in the best of everybody, you know? So it takes me a while to get in my head that, hey, I've told this person something and somehow it's ended up somewhere else for them to do it a couple of times, and I'm just like, well, maybe somebody else just overheard, and then coming up with the excuses. So it's
I
something
don't
that I
know.
need to
That
work
wasn't
on.
pointed at you. I'm guilty of, or have been in the past guilty of this, which is why I wrote this question down. But there, I would never, and that's another thing. This is a queen chat moment. Me as your older sister, I would never tell you to change your soft heart. Your compassionate heart is one of the biggest things that I love about you. So I wouldn't want you to change that. But in that same vein, with me being your big sister, when I see that your heart is soft and I see the arrow coming from the left, I'm gonna step out and swat the arrow back to the other person's eye who was trying to shoot it. So it's double for me. I don't want you to change your heart, but I also don't like seeing people who know that
Take
use that.
advantage. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, but good answer. Cuz said one time, and that trust is huge. That's it only takes one time. Because now my thing is, if I say, hey, my favorite color is, I don't know, pixie dust or whatever, and I hear that back, that's not bad. Because I don't care if you share my favorite color, but if I'm telling you something in confidence, something that actually showed what I thought our relationship was, that I thought we had that bond, and then I hear that back, there's certain things, no matter how, like I said, we have all sorts of differences, but common sense is always still common sense. There are certain things that you should just know are not shareable conversations. And when those come back, it is very difficult for me then to believe you care about me. Because my friends, I expect my friends to love the way I love. That doesn't always happen. And it doesn't have to, but that's how I expect. If I'm giving you true, genuine, 100% love, that's what I'm expecting in return from you. And if I would never, ever, ever, it's all right, you keep blacking out. You taking potty breaks?
No, I'm yelling at the kids upstairs.
if you if I would never want to break your confidence or your trust that way. And if it's so easy for you to break my trust, how then am I supposed to, in my head, wrap my brain around the fact that you care about me? How do I forget? How do you care about me but hurt me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that. It doesn't take, one time is enough. Two times is too many. So like we said, how many is too many? In that situation, for me, two times would be too many. Technically, one time is enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just how it is. But that's something I had to learn. I had to learn that in ships, friendships, relationships, mentorships, any of those teacherships, I made that up, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. You can't expect everyone to go in with the same zeal or oomph or intensity as you, because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work that way. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn, but I learned it. So, ladies, my ladies that are still with me, do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any throw out of how many and those that you want to talk about with us, queens? And Breezy, did you have anything you wanted to bring up for this episode?
Not that I can think of. This has mostly all been brought up, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me see. So I am going to let y'all know. So this was the first episode. This is what Queen Chat is all about. We thank everyone who watched, everyone who tunes in. We hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining as well as informative, because that's what our goal is. I hope something was said that helps or made you look at things differently, or just confirmed the way you think about things, to let you know that we all deal with the same kind of tomfoolery all the time. We just got to remember to keep our heads up, adjust our crowns, and keep moving forward. Next week Sunday, we'll be back with episode 2. My co-host for next week will be Nita B herself, and we will be talking about the subject unapologetically me. Unapologetically me. You do not want to miss that. You do not. Tune in, give me your feedback, give me your thoughts and opinions. We are ready for it. We are here for it. So, Breezy, was there anything you wanted to say to the audience before we let them go?
Just want to reiterate once again, fool me one time, shame on who? Fool me one time, shame on who?
You,
Fool me 2 times, it's shame on.
me,
Fool me 3 times, it's I can't
deuces.
do it.
Yeah, I know. You know what?
Load
The
the
peace
chopper.
sign. Yeah.
Load the chopper. That's my words of wisdom for right now.
Well, it has been great. We thank you all for tuning in, and we cannot wait to see you next week for our next episode of Queen Chat. All you beauties, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Enjoy your families and have a great, great week at work. Bye, everybody. Hang on, Breezy.
Just gonna smile and look pretty. Oh. Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
Yeah, because you turning into a rapper and everything.
Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me 2 times,
Oh my
shame on me.
God. Oh
Fool
my
me three
God.
times.
Okay, hush, because they can still hear us.
I know, that's why I didn't cuss.
Oh God.
Ma'am, click the live on Facebook arrow that's pointing down at the top left of your Zoom meeting screen.
That's what I'm saying. My Zoom meeting screen is gone.
Then maybe we just need to leave the Zoom.
Yeah, I'll call you. Bye. Oh wait, I figured out. All right, everybody. I figured it out. Like I started with technical difficulties. I ended with technical difficulties. But I am Lady Faye, thanking you again for tuning in to the very first episode of Queen Chat. We'll see you again next week. Bye bye.